Hey folks, Mike here. So let's talk a little bit about our education system, what its purpose was, and where we are now. So our education system has always been a job training tool, and certain jobs have always required certain specific skills that you could learn in college. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, teacher, things like that. But really, what a lot of employers looked for, at least in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, was they were looking to see that you finished college. It showed that you were willing to try something and then finish it. And that was what people were looking for. And you also picked up a number of good general skills along the way. That's why they used to have gen ed degrees. But something happened around the mid 90s, early 2000s, where employers started looking for specific degrees in order to hire somebody out of college. And getting those degrees meant you had an even greater chance of getting the job you wanted. So companies stopped training and they started saying, we're going to hire out of college and you're going to have all the skills we need. So that put more of the onus on the student to come out fully ready for the job force. Well, more people started going to college because more and more jobs were getting shipped overseas. So you had a higher number of grads, which meant that there was more competition for the bachelor's degree, which then meant that employers could be more finicky, more choosy. And so what did they do? They started requiring that you have X amount of years of experience in order to get these jobs. At that same time, colleges started to see that there was a greater demand for the bachelor degree. So what did they do? They started charging more because more and more people wanted it. It meant that they could charge more, supply and demand. But at the same time, around 2005, they made the student loan debt non-dischargeable in bankruptcy, meaning that students that took out those loans had to pay them off. Now this is fine when loans are, $5,000, $10,000. Now loans are getting into the $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 range, and they're not dischargeable in bankruptcy. So in order to get a good enough job to pay off these loans, and one that won't be replaced by machines in the next 40 years, you hope, a 17 and 19-year-old has to figure out what that job is, take out a loan to get the training for that job, hopefully get a job out of college that allows them to get the job experience to get into the job they actually want. At the same time, life can't happen to them, and that is where our students, our 17 and 19-year-olds are today. Now, I'm not going to rag against the corporations in this video. I've got plenty of bones to pick with corporations, but my bigger thing here is that we need to have some empathy and we need to understand that we need to change our education system. We need to bring down the pricing and we need to give people off-ramps for when life happens. Student loan forgiveness is part of this, but we also need bankruptcy protection. We need to refi loans. We need to extend terms. We need to do things like that that will help people in the long run get out from underneath this debt bubble and also try and bring down the price of college itself. But this all starts with empathy and the understanding that we do have a problem that we need to solve and it affects all of us. And whether you have a degree or not, you should want people to get out of debt as much as possible.